So welcome. My name is Andrea Fernandez from the marketing department, and I would like to welcome you to this Transparent Logon customer update. Thank you to you guys, to your to Transparent Logon community for being here. As you may know, TL is made by you somehow because you help us with so many requests and so many improvements to create this big community, and we're really happy to do this finally, and we hope to do this again very shortly when we do new updates. So a couple of things before we start. As you know, we are a global team of more than 200 experts. We have operations worldwide. We recently opened new offices in the US last year, and we are present in 11 countries. We have deep industry knowledge in logistic, manufacturing, and wholesale, but also in many other industries. And we cover the full life cycle of an ERP implementation from the first visit to a client until managed services or support. A quick recap of our business process accelerators or Steltex products. We are not a developing company, let's say, but we have developed our own products that help our customers with JD Edwards and automating business processes. So Upshare, you might know about it. It helps deliver transactions on any mobile device. So for example, warehouse management, whenever we have people in the field that cannot be just working on JD Edwards on site, it's really helpful. We have our AP automation tool, which helps to automate the accounts payable process. We have Dropzone as well, which is a really great tool for mass data uploads, and especially at the end of the year when where data is a big problem for some companies. Transparent Logon, which we will talk about more today. Version Workbench, which is an accelerator for version control projects in JD Edwards. And our latest one, I don't know if you might have heard about this one, but it's an integration with Oracle Guided Learning and JD Edwards, which it's really helpful for users that are onboarding JD Edwards, and it's a really nice tool to help users learn about JD in a quick and fun way, let's say. So without further ado, I will pass the word to Johan Tekens, our product owner, and he will explain to you the new features that we have today. Enjoy.
Hey, everybody, and thanks, Andrea, introducing. Great that everybody joined, that you're here as a part of the Transparent Logon community and users. So first, quickly go over some of the key features of TL. I have a bunch of new features that I want to show, discuss, and actually after that demo some of those new features, and then there's time to discuss and even maybe come up with new ideas, because this whole product was actually built and made with customers for customers, and most of the things you'll see, almost all of them actually, from the new features came up from customers and or customer situations, of course. So multi-factor authentication is since, I think, about 3 years, a big thing, that you don't have user ID and password, but you have your multi-factor authentication available through Transparent Logon. And I mean, user password is not available for most applications. It's a great enhancement to increase security. And you have all the users at one place. And of course, you have a lot more ability to be compliant with what auditors are requesting from you. So it's easy for the users. I mean, they sign in and they just click the link and they're inside JD, and it saves them a lot of time if they lose their passwords and those kind of things. So we hear a lot from people, I mean, significant cost savings due to, I hear from some people running a help desk having 20% on password resets, eliminating all of that. So, and of course, the user's got to be happy because it's a really simplified way of logging into JD Edwards, and of course, various other products around it. Audit, I've had various companies come to me saying, my auditors need a product like Transparent Logon. Can you please help us set it up, or what is it? So it really helps to increase your security and have a better audit trail on what's happening from a login perspective. So that's where we get to the new features. One of the big thing is JWT authentication, which is basically Transparent Logon will create a certificate allowing you inside JDabbits. And Transparent Logon and JDabbits after that will trust each other. And that eliminates that Transparent Logon, the previous versions will generate a random password, reset the user's password, and log you in with that. So that's now, since the new version can be done with JWT. I've had various questions. Can Transparent Logon support long usernames and passwords? Well, password is out of the question because we're now working with certificates. And long usernames, automatically it will adapt to the long usernames. Like I said previously, Transparent Logon would generate a complex password, reset that user's password, and then sign the user in with that password every time he signs in. Now, Transparent Logon, well, within a split second generates a token, a JWT token, and pass that on with the user into JDabbits. I've seen occasions where it's like 4 or 5 times faster, the whole sign-in process. I've had customers asking, when I sign into my Transparent Logon, my user password resets, and by that, I cannot schedule jobs anymore as that specific user. Well, that's not the case anymore because your password doesn't get reset anymore. So even users can now schedule jobs in case something you would like. Other questions, other customers have asked, like, my developers need to log in to Fat Clients. It's a Windows login, and Transparent Logon is a web-based tool, not supporting Fat Clients. Although with the new releases of JDabbits, Fat Client usage is getting more and more eliminated, but there's still developers wanting to sign on to their Fat Client. Well, now, because of you using JWT, your password doesn't get reset anymore, and you can give your developers a JDabbits password. I've had various questions about Transparent Logon supporting the login into Orchestrator Studio. Orchestrator Studio didn't support, didn't really talk to Transparent Logon previously, and that was because simply the protocol was not compatible. Nobody could actually get single sign-on Orchestrator Studio done. But now, since we're supporting JWT, single sign-on to Orchestrator Studio is possible as well. Yeah, like I said, no more password resets. And because of the certificate chain and the way that JWT works in detail, this is a way more secure way than passing passwords into the login screen. And of course, we're complying with OpenID standards. That will come back actually into the next feature. But you can have, if you build your own application and want to sign into JDabbits, Transparent Logon also serves as an OpenID server that can give you a JWT token to your mobile app or to your interface, and with that token, you can sign into JDabbits yourself. Another big thing that we did, we already had Windows authentication, and 2 years ago we added SAML as protocol to sign in. We're now also adding OAuth. A big nice feature is that it's a lot easier to configure, and way more parties support OAuth authentication at the front end. And it's still, I mean, you're still getting your MFA and everything. OAuth is not only supported, of course, what we did with Microsoft or Google, but yeah, you could even use connect it into LinkedIn or anything that supports OAuth, or any IDP that you might already have, like Okta. We even did a wizard in Okta. I'll be demoing. And of course, OAuth is part of the OpenID standards as well. So we're complying a lot more with new standards. Normally, if you sign into JDAV, you do /JDE or /desk to get in Data Access Studio. There's a new URL that allows you to do /OpenID. And if your application logs into OpenID, it will receive just a JWT token and nothing else. So you can pick up your JWT token and use it in maybe in your mobile app or wherever. And AppShare is a Statics product that basically is used a lot on mobile devices for maybe in a warehouse scanning or wherever in the world do approvals. Those can now make use of Transparent Logon to through single sign-on without the user noticing with OAuth sign into AppShare. More new features keeps coming. Searches, I got a lot of feedback from, I got feedback from customers that the searches within the management interface were only searching in the data that was shown in the screen and not what was in the database, so we fixed that. The same if you would export audit data, for example, it will only export the data that you were showing, and now it's basically exporting everything. And within Transparent Logon, some features, if you enable one feature, the other feature you shouldn't be seeing anymore, and we're hiding those. This is a more from an overview perspective what we've done on. So first, users come in, it gets validated by TL, and you get matched by cross-reference, you get granted access, and you get forwarded into an application. So I see previously we had Kerberos, just Windows authentication, a SAML authentication, and here we added OAuth. The cross-reference, nothing changed there. You can enable it, disable it. And previously, by granting access, Transparent Logon would generate a maximum complex password and connect to the enterprise server to reset your password and then sign you into JDAV. With the new version of Transparent Logon will generate a JWT token and sign you into or the web interface or Orchestrator Studio or AIS. Data Access Studio is not possible with JWT yet, but that's really a limitation of the Data Access Studio software. We're still trying to work with them to see if there's a possibility to get it done. So if you still have Data Access Studio, it doesn't mean you cannot use it anymore, but that still means that for this specific instance, you're limited to Windows authentication.
And Johan?
Yeah.
Johan, this is your favorite colleague, Jeroen, speaking.
Yeah.
How should I turn on my camera? Just a quick idea. We have just enabled chat. You can also use the Q&A button at the top. But if I can imagine that people have questions or thoughts that they want to share with us. So please feel free to put that in the chat box, and Andrea will make sure that we bring that to Johan's attention at the end of the demo. So please feel free to leave your comments or questions there. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Johan.
Yeah, thanks, Jeroen. Appreciate it. And the last feature, of course, is that you get signed in, you go through the cross-reference, you get a JWT token, and you get a token back. So this is where we did all the work on the new and the and the AIS integration we completely replaced to make it more smooth and effective. And there were in the past some issues with drop zone and orchestration detections. That should all be gone now with a complete new implementation of the AIS. So let me quickly demo it. still have it open here. So the new Transparent Logon, still the same interface with what you would see from an instance perspective. Go to the authentication types, and already here you see there's OAuth added as authentication type. We added some convenient kind of wizards to tell you how to do it, where to click, and maybe if you're in Azure, that you where to put this in, and that will configure the authentications for you automatically, or Okta. Just to make it easier, because I get questions on how to configure all these URLs. And if you're not in the middle of a lot of authentication work, it kind of makes sense that you get a bit of help there. Cross-reference is the same, nothing changed. Data Access Studio integration is the same. Although we completely replaced the AIS integration, the GUI remains the same in how you configure it.
Okay.
I'll just Data Studio. You can specify if you have an Orchestrator Studio where to forward. So if you go your Transparent Logon URL/studio, it forwards you into this URL. The web server is still the same. This is new. So when you upload your JWT private key, and it's all documented on docs.celtics.com. So you have to generate a key and a certificate and load it here and load it inside JDevBots. Then they have the same keys and the same certificate, and then they trust each other. And then the enterprise server tab is not needed anymore once you configure this. And like I said, we're just hiding this because all these fields are obsolete right now. If you remove your key, the enterprise server fields are visible again. So cross-reference, we used to sort it, and there used to be a sort box, and there's now for each column a sort field, and it's actually searching the database. Same for login history and audit history. And talking to some of the customers, this was a much wanted feature. I don't think we did anything here, although yeah, there's a small feature that we put in halfway, also requested by a customer. Can we please have a read-only user ID or a read-only group inside Transparent Logon? No problem, here it is. Database has remained the same. Email, there's hardly any customers using email, but also we did that for a couple of customers who wanted to have it, and certificate is also the same. So the big thing is actually that we did the OAuth here, the JWT, and that you can also set up Transparent Logon as an OpenID provider. But on your instance, there's a new button here. If you enable JWT, this will be visible, that you can create a OAuth secret that Transparent Logon itself can work as identity provider. Yeah, of course, and I mean, from the experience of the users, nothing changed. If you're already on as you see, it was pretty quick getting into JDevBots. I think easily the performance tripled 3 times. Yeah. So I think we're there. These are the new features. If you have any questions, I think we're open for questions and answers. I'll quickly go over the new features. So OpenID, OAuth, app share integration, JWT, rewrite of AIS, the admin interface. We did a lot of improvements and configuration wizards. So we just need to finish this this project first. It went online on the website, I think halfway September. We found a couple of minor bugs. They went on the website today. So I think we're pretty much done with this version of Transparent Logon. And that means that we're slowly going to work on the new version of Transparent Logon. And yeah, as I mentioned halfway as well, I mean, all the features that we built in are all for customers asking questions like, can you improve this? Can you improve that? So we're currently researching what would be the smartest new features for the release for next year. So one of the things is maybe do more advanced sorting in the grids, automated license renewal. That would be very cool. That just connects to some kind of server and fetches the new licenses. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. And we also have some questions from customers that have AIS servers with a demo SSL certificate in them. And it would be cool if we could connect to that as well. So I don't know, Andrea, are there questions at the moment?
Yes, we have a couple of questions for now. So Bart asks, just a wild idea, Transparent Logon is a standalone app currently. So we need to go to the web browser and enter the user credentials. Can we integrate in future with JD Edwards or Qsoft or other security tool? So when creating a JD account, then adding the credentials directly automatically to the DL database by a trigger in JD Edwards?
Well, there's no way that there's credentials in the database. So the credentials are always
not really credentials. I had to type and listen to you. So
cool.
The user ID and the email address, right? It's like you fill in, or your domain name and your user ID.
That's the cross-reference. You don't want to maintain your cross-reference anymore. Is that the thing?
Well, it's not just what I was thinking about, because now we're creating a JD Edwards account in JD Edwards, and then after that it's saved, we go to the Transparent Logon and enter the domain name and the cross-reference there. So it's two actions in two separate places. I was thinking, why if it's possible, maybe we could, do it all in JD Edwards.
Yeah, you
can. It's just an idea. It's not something.
You already can. I should have told you.
Oh, okay.
With this version, because you can potentially disable your cross-reference, and with the newer version of JD, you have the long user ID feature.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that Transparent Logon is now 100% compatible with long user IDs, you can go to your P0092L for the long user ID and set next to your normal user, set a long user ID inside JD. Then you can disable your Transparent Logon. You don't have to maintain your cross-reference separately, because then the cross-reference will be maintained inside JD.
Okay.
So P00.
Discuss it with Pascal then tomorrow.
And here the P0092L is an application where you can have your long user ID. Here, this is my email address connected to my TKSJ user account, and then you can say, I want everything transparent with JWT. The johan.tikens@steltix.com comes in, and JD will recognize it's TKSJ.
Okay. I think Pascal already looked at it, didn't you, Pascal?
Yes, I already looked at this, and it's what Johan said. You can disable it, but within the new version that is possible. But you can also send a different different name from your Azure authentication or from your Active Directory, and with that you can also use your login ID, for instance.
Yeah, it's also a very good idea. Yeah. Can have an alternative user ID inside JD in Azure. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. We have a second question, and from now on, if you want to disable your mic or put on your camera, you're welcome to do so. So we have a more bi-directional conversation. But yeah, Andy is asking, we would need to host the logon history on SQL. We already host the XREF on SQL. Is this possible? Thank you.
I think with the new feature we did it with the new release. Yes. So now with the new release, that data should go to SQL as well. We already done it.
Cleanup of logs, Pascal asks.
Good point. It is. I'll just edit it here. Good point. It's on my wish list. I didn't mention it here. I'll just add it here as well.
Will it then also be possible that you put in, say that it cleans up for after 1 year, or after 2 years, or after 3 months, so that you can? Okay, that would be awesome.
We are looking at that. Very good idea. Thanks. Hey, that's one word, right? Clean up. Should I do it this way? Yeah, better. Okay. Yeah. Logs by date or by retention.
And I got another question, because now you also host OAuth authentication. So you also have the possibility to go to external, more external parties. Is it possible to maybe investigate for other external parties to hook it up to Transparent Logon, like RFGen or things like that?
Well, what we did do is make an OpenID server, so they can request a JWT token, allowing them to sign in. RFGen, to be honest, I don't even know how it signs in, but I can RFGen support. Yeah, I can put it on the list.
The reason that I ask is, like, this application is like an integrated application on your Fed client. So yeah, I'm not sure what is possible there, but
that is going to be difficult because Fed clients have a complete different way of working under the hood.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still have to think about it. I'm running into similar issues with Data Access Studio. Where we still support all the old protocols, but moving on to the new protocol, you need to create a separate instance still. It works perfectly fine. But I'd love to have it all in the new protocols.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see any more questions, but so now's your last chance in case you want to mention anything. If not, we will be sending you the recording so you can share it with your team. And from my side, just thank you very much for attending. Johan, do you have anything else to share?
No, highly appreciate all your input, because that are nice features that you might want to use as well.
Yeah, I think Jill is writing something.
And like I said to you as well, Andrea, thanks for forcing me to get this done, because I wanted to have it done 5 years ago, to have meetings like this. Appreciate it.
We will do it more often.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Great work, Johan. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Hey.